What's up everybody and welcome to another episode of Raudeza Reviews. I'm Raudeza. Now, before we get started, I just want to get into a little bit of programming updates basically. So, I know I said I was going to be reviewing the Batman figure, but it got delayed until March. So, the one that I got is the deluxe edition, the deluxe extra, I don't know. It's extra crispy. The point is it's coming in a little bit late, so I'm going to have to do that review later on in this month. But some cool news though is that the Wolverine 1970s version from Days of Future Past is coming on Monday, so look for that review sometime this weekend. I just wanted to let you know of what is upcoming, and I still got some Kotobukiya stuff that I'm going to do as well, but I just wanted to give you an update on what's going to be coming up because certain things got delayed. Few other things that I have coming up is the 3 Zeros version of RC, the DLX figure, which is pretty cool. And something that I'm really looking forward to and really anticipating is the Robo Duo VF1J Veritech, also known as the Rick Hunter Veritech or Valkyrie, depending on what you saw growing up. So all those things are coming up, and one last thing I have to mention is that, and I kind of expected this, and really personally thrilled about it, is that they are making the Ahsoka Tano figure, the live action version from the show Ahsoka, which I thought is really cool. I really like the actress. Can't remember her name right now, but this was just a really pivotal episode, and I'm glad that they're making this figure. So a lot of stuff coming up, guys. So let's go ahead and get into it. I've done a lot of reviews on this particular character already. No really need for an introduction. Today we're going to be reviewing SideShow Collectibles version of Ahsoka from the Clone Wars, the 1/6 scale figure. Let's take a closer look. Now, full disclosure, when I first heard about this figure, I wasn't initially excited. It looked, I don't know, a little bit odd to me, but then when I took it out of the packaging, it immediately blew me away. It is such a spectacular figure. I'm so impressed with this. Now, the head sculpt is done very well. Obviously, it is in the CGI format for the Clone Wars of the animated series, so to speak, but man, what a great representation of this figure. The head sculpt is done very well. The eyes are absolutely spectacular. And of course, you have the color palette. You know, Ahsoka has a very vibrant skin, so it's done very well. Two things immediately stood out to me when reviewing the midsection and upper torso of this piece. One is that the body framing is so well done. Now, it's pretty unbelievable how much quality is here. And then, of course, there's the actual materials, which are on another level. This is like Hot Toys level materials. It's done very well, I have to say. SideShow Collectibles did a really good job. Color palettes are done very well. You see the intricacy of the materials, the sketching, the etching, and just overall quality. And again, I'm pleasantly surprised by this offering. Here's the thing that I really like about this figure. It's the lower section. Now, you don't actually need a base for this figure, and it's very dense and sturdy. Again, it has a lot to do with the inner framing of this figure, and you can just pose it like I am without having to put it on a stand, and that's pretty remarkable. There's a really great ball joint system here that works in tandem with the rest of the figure. And of course, look at the sculpt in the boots, just very well done here, and the trousers, again, top-notch materials. I keep saying this, but it's just, I'm pleasantly surprised at how impressive this is. Now, in terms of the lightsabers, they are very intricate and very well sculpted. There's a lot of detail there. I especially love the color palette. That high silver polish is really nice. Now, obviously, this version of Ahsoka is still very early on in her training when she was a Padawan learner, so she does have the green saber. There is a nice point to it, which is pretty interesting. No light-up feature to speak of here, but it is a SideShow Collectibles offering, and they tend not to do that. You have to kind of search for Hot Toys to get that light-up feature. Now, you don't necessarily need to run out and mirror this piece, but I have to say there is some incredible detail on the reverse side of this piece. Starting with the headdress, I can't remember the name of it. It's very well sculpted, and again, there's a nice color palette there. Things look clean and nice, and of course, you also have the regalia that she has. Very interesting muscle tone on the back. Again, it all has to do with the inner lining or the inner framing of this piece, which really does it justice. And of course, how she attaches to the base, which is the typical nut grabber. What I like is the detail on the reverse side that you see in the boots, which is really well done. So you don't have to mirror it, but there is a lot of detail there. Now, this figure does come with 3 little additional accessories, which are pretty interesting. There are 2 lightsabers that are unsheathed. Unsabered, I don't know what the terminology is. Basically, they're ones that hang on her actual belt that are not in saber mode. I don't know, whatever. And then of course you get a kind of like hologram diskette, which has a I think that's Rex, one of the clone warriors that she was really close with. So I think that's pretty cool. I always like those holograms, and they're nice details for the figure. And of course, rounding out the last bit of accessories are 6 additional hands for various poses. And you can really take advantage of all this stuff. Fortunately, the inner framing of this piece is very dynamic, and you can get some incredible poses with this figure. I wish I would have done more stock footage of posing it so I can show you how dynamic it can be. Again, it is a full rubber bodysuit, so be very careful with the stresses, but I mean, there's a lot of tolerances here, which is a really good thing. I think you should just go nuts in the way that you pose this figure. Well, you guys knew that I wasn't going to end this video without showing you all of the 3 Ahsokas that I have in my collection and I've reviewed on the channel so far. So on the left, we have the Ahsoka from The Mandalorian, which is the first real live-action introduction of Ahsoka. Then, of course, we have the young Padawan version from the Clone Wars by SideShow Collectibles. And on the right, we have, again, the Clone Wars version of Ahsoka when she's much older, but instead, this is a Hot Toys version. All of them are done very spectacular. I can't wait to get the Ahsoka version from the Ahsoka TV show when she's older, and then, of course, this new, younger version that we're going to be getting soon. Now, this is going to sound strange, but I can't necessarily give this figure my holy seal grail of approval, because it is all up to taste. Some people don't like the CGI, or maybe they've never actually seen the Clone Wars, but it does get my second rating as freaking totally approved badass figure. So if you are a fan of Ahsoka and you do like this style and you've seen the Clone Wars, or if you just like Ahsoka in general, while not a holy grail piece, it does get Raudeza's badass seal of approval. So if you are a fan, definitely pick this one up because it is frigging awesome. Alright everybody, so that's my official review on SideShow Collectibles' version of Ahsoka from the Clone Wars, the 1/6 scale figure. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next Raudeza Reviews.